This is a story for those who wished that they could truly read between the lines of the book they were reading and see the world of the story through the eyes of the author. For those who wished that they could make nonfiction from fiction. For those who wished that dreams were true. This is a story of a group of wayward friends who came together from the far reaches of two worlds to come together and to help make dreams reality. This is Hazeltown Story. Hello and welcome to Hazeltown Story episode 34. This is actually going to be the start of a new arc. Tom's Diner, which will make sense once we actually get into the arc, why it's called that. But yeah, it is a new arc, so I really don't have anything to explain in terms of plot, because I actually kind of get going with the plot pretty early on. I don't think there's a whole lot of preamble needed, which is good. So I really don't have a whole lot to say for this little intro part, because I'm going to do introductions a little bit of a different way, which I feel, because I'd say who is playing who in previous episodes, but then I realized, that probably doesn't help with actually getting people to get the voice with the character. So I feel in order to make it a little bit more easier to understand, I'm just going to have the people themselves introduce themselves, and I'll have that start of all these episodes for this arc, and that should be a little bit easier to understand who's playing who. Also, you get a description of them from the person themselves. So yeah, only one other thing I do want to say, I apologize for there not being an episode last week, mainly because I was so busy preparing for both the marathon I did on basically the Saturday that episode was supposed to come out, and also working on the start of this session, that I was just way too busy. I didn't feel like anything that I'd produce probably would not be that great, or it'd be like 5 minutes long. So I decided to, just focus on the other things and not worry about producing an episode. So I apologize for there being a lack of Hazeltown Story last week, but should be going forward, going forward for at least the next 3 weeks. I do have at least 2 more episodes, including this one. Or it's actually 3 more episodes, including this one. So we will be good for at least the next couple of weeks until the next session. So yeah, at least there is that going forward. Also, this session is going to be kind of interesting because there are 6 players in this one. So we have not 1, but 2 new people joining us for this session, including everyone who has been in the session beforehand. So it is going to be a bit busy. Not as chaotic as I was kind of expecting, but yeah, it's a different experience. So yeah, there is that. So with that, I am going to have everyone introduce themselves, starting with Axe.
All right, so I'm playing Aria Stragelle. They are a doctor who moonlights as a mortician. Came here. They know Lomi, and they were kind of brought on board by Lomi to assist in this latest adventure. Their pronouns are they, them.
Hi, I'm Bobinator. I am playing Ferrus D'Ettero. He is a survivalist and host of TV survival show Whole Wild World. It's on his 3rd season, and for this season, producers want more of a local flavor. So he has met up with Bibley, who is trying to get him introduced into Hazeltown, where he can kind of, meet with people and show off the sights there for his show. And he is a he/him.
I am Carnival. I'm playing a returning character, Yuhar Govenin, our psychic pirate. Well, retired pirate. Uses they, them, and is got a reputation for pyromania.
I am, of course, Deathmaster 780. I am playing Bobby, a shady businessman who just found out a mall that rejected his business is in trouble.
Hello, I'm Norman Rafferty. I am playing Tacent Toxin, pronouns of they, them. I am an itinerant holistic healer who has wandered into town and set up shop to help people on their personal journey.
I'm TorpidTypist playing Iravia, she, her, who's just, a normal biker, rolled into town, doing odd jobs at the moment. Also can
All
talk
right.
to sylphs, but, normal people do that.
And now with that done, let's get on with the episode. So Aravia. Also, we're going to go Aravia and Bobby. You two got a call from Theron that he kind of wants you to show, basically to come to his office because there is a job that is open for you that he wants your opinion on whether or not you want to take it first.
Okay.
All right.
So you two come to his office and basically sitting in basically you go to his office and you see him sitting behind the chair, like behind his desk, but also in front of his desk you see sitting in a chair Toby Moon, your DPass friend, I guess, for your contact. Yes, I don't know why that word was.
Well, howdy, officer.
I've got the rent-a-cops here.
Yeah, I got something for you that I think you might be interested in.
Well, let's find out.
So, I've got a weird thing that I noticed that your guys have been doing surveillance for, and I've seen your group doing quite a bit of surveillance stuff around, in the parks and just kind of all over the place. Got something a little bit more local that we don't know quite how to deal with that I feel like your group might be able to help us with.
What does that mean?
Well, we got an interesting case in the middle of the city. Welcome Square, the kind of tourist kind of trap area, basically where everyone comes into the city.
Bobby perks up at the mention of Welcome Square and says, I may know a thing or two.
Yeah. We got a in the Welcome Center, they got that restaurant, the open door in like the top of the Welcome Center that has like the view of the kind of the square. The owner of the place has been getting some odd customers there. And we kind of need to take a look into it because it's actually a matter that if our group, if we got involved with, could kind of lead to actually let's say a worse hand than we actually might be given a gift, so to speak.
What kind of odd are we talking about here? Because we've dealt with some weird shit.
Well, how odd is espionage to you?
It's
well.
Bobby off of his cigar and says, I may know a thing or two.
Well, owner of the restaurant's has been finding interesting pieces of equipment around his building that he definitely did not plant himself.
Bugs.
So we feel, and he's been seeing some more odd characters sitting around his place lately, so he's a bit paranoid.
Afraid of foreigners, I see.
Well, here's the problem, is we're right next to the American border. And this city is kind of a trap for, your friendly CIA person.
Bob, stop.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Stop that.
No.
Please stop it.
Well, anyway,
Look, if you want us to rough up some CIA agents, that's easy.
Well, we got to find them first. But we feel that your group's is, your whole thing where you lay the cameras down and you can see back in time. We might need your help to kind of get a couple days around the restaurant and kind of figure out what's going on.
I see. And is it just the
Hey.
restaurant? Or are they hanging around elsewhere in that Welcome Plaza?
Well, we kind of, well, what we'd kind of would really like to know is what exactly they're looking for. There's a couple buildings around the area, the Welcome Squares. No, it's not the Welcome Center. So we're not necessarily curious what's going on in this building, so to speak. We just want to know what are they curious about.
Well, not the food, I'll tell you that. Gotta come to Bobby's place if you want a fine burger.
There's food other than burgers.
Blasphemy.
It just sounds to me like we're going for a fox hunt.
Well, thing is that can't remember which one of you guys mentioned it last time, but I've been the higher ups or my higher ups have been kind of interested in kind of the events that have happened last time. And they might be willing to make it worth your while.
But
Well, how's getting a paycheck from the council sound to you? He kind of looks back and just points to Theron and is like, I know he's paying you for this, but we can kind of, give you a little extra.
Bobby points at her and says, what he pays me, I make 10 times in a week from my business.
I don't, though. Government money is good, reliable money. I'm not big on working for the cops, but also it means I get to beat up undercover cops.
Yeah, I know you're not a biggest fan of us, but maybe you might get lucky and have to deal with I don't know, CIA, some person going over the border trying to interfere with our stuff and just being a creep.
Look, Bobby's already been entangled with the CIA.
You're also already a
Can't
creep.
recommend.
Look, all I'm saying is that, CIA agents are not very durable, in my experience.
Oh, yes. Let me tell you about my ex-husband.
Okay, see, I'm not talking from a romantic perspective.
Oh. Well, either way.
Yeah, sure, I'm down for it. It'll be interesting, at least.
Bobby straightens his coat and says, Bobby will be down for it too, but not for the money.
I'm in it for the money. Fuck you. I'll take your money, too.
Fine by me.
So Toby essentially gets up and is like, well, we'll see how this whole payment goes out anyway. I'll leave that for later. Basically, I'm going to let you folks just kind of, do it yourselves.
Good.
Let you get a handle on things because I feel like I don't really need you, but try and not do it in front of everyone.
Hey, Toby, you know the nice thing about restaurants?
What's that?
They're full of chairs.
They are. Although I think the open door has a lot of booze. And I think the stools are bolted down. Not that I'm sure that won't be a problem for you, I take it.
Better men than have tried.
Fair enough.
Bobby points at Ferret and says, if we do this, we're going to need something from you.
Oh, what's that?
Extra manpower. A job this size, the mall this big, we might need some extra people. Bigger than what we usually take.
Well, we've been trying to look out for more people, so that can definitely be arranged.
Please, somebody more agreeable, though.
Yes.
Well, we'll see what we can do.
I can call up Yuhar if you want. Them and I have been having a few drinks recently.
Yep. Well, we'll get a group together because Welcome Square is rather big, so we are going to need a few more people on this.
Look, all I'm saying is if my gear is sabotaged again, there will be blood.
Yeah, not exactly thrilled about that, but we'll see what we got.
It's all right. As long as you look the other way, it won't be a problem.
Toby just kind of gives a face that's like, well, I'll let you I'll let you all handle it.
Very good.
Okay. So I guess with that, there's our intro. So, I take it in the meantime that basically, if this were a movie, it'd be the montage of getting everyone together.
Ah, yes, my favorite part of Mask.
Yes.
God, that's a reference.
Deep cuts.
All right. So in that case, I would imagine that all 6 of you would be kind of gathered around, probably at the. That we'll do it like this. Basically, all 6 of you gather, like, kind of around. I provided a map, but I will give it to you again. Basically, of the area. So, to give a verbal description of the area for those who are listening. Let me get my thing. Where are you? There you are. So let me see. Is this the right one? That is not the right one. Let me do this. Where did it save? Okay. So you are in the middle, or you are basically in the city, the large city that is nearby, which is named the Steinwald. You are in basically the Steinwald is basically surrounding a bay. Essentially, there is a island in the center, but the Welcome Square is kind of centered in not quite on the border, or not on the harbor, but there is a border, or it is semi close, like maybe like a block, like maybe a mile away from the coast. Inside of Welcome Square, there is a large tower in the center that the base of it has a welcome center that basically lets people introduced into the city. On top of that tower or basically in the middle of the tower, or actually closer to the top of the tower, there is a restaurant called the Open Door, which is a multi-level restaurant with a bar in it that basically gives you a view around the city. Next to the, I'll go into more in depth in the city once you actually get in, because that'll make more sense to do it there.
Gonna be at fucking square lined up like a goddamn field trip.
Yep.
Everyone got your backpacks and your snacks.
So getting to the Welcome Center is pretty easy, because inside of the city there is not only is there a pretty decent subway, there's also a ferry, not a ferry, or what do you call, like, the San Francisco little trolley thing, essentially, that is built above the ground. So, like, if you're familiar with the Chicago SkyTrain, essentially, so it's a additional, like, public transit situation around there, so that it is pretty easy to get around the city, and there is a hub for all the public transit that is right next to the Welcome Center. So all 6 of you are basically standing in front of the Welcome Center.
Well, I will say that Bobby will offer to give rides to both Iravia and Yuhar to the Welcome Center.
And there is also a underground parking garage for the transit center. So basically, another thing about the city is that all the roads are essentially underground, with the exception of, like, the streets are wide enough so you can get, like, motorbikes through, but it's not really a car city above ground. There is plenty of space for cars underneath the city, because there's, like, a roadway system underneath the city.
Mm.
And yeah, Ravi will take the van because there's no fun in biking underground.
Yeah, same. You are taking the van. So, CIA. Huh.
Yeah, sure is.
I hope I don't run into my sister-in-law.
Why? You don't want me to beat her up?
I mean, it's more of like, it's just like, look, it's nothing personal. This is the first time we've been on opposite sides of things. I just don't want... My sister's birthday's in a couple months, so I don't kind of want that to be too big of a story.
Hello. Sorry.
Look, the greatest gift is a blown cover.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I haven't had to see Eric in the last 3 years because of it.
Okay. Also, probably should. I'm trying to think. I probably should have someone. Well, I wonder if you should have a chaperone. Essentially, let me just think about that.
Children.
You know what?
When you're adults in operation, it's called a mind.
Let's see. Let me think.
The correct term is a handler.
You know what? Let's just say that Theron came along.
No, Theron's
Since
also
he's-
in the van.
There, so Theron is along with your group.
To look over these 3 gremlins.
Yeah, well now 6. So Theron just kind of says, "Well, okay, I guess we have. I guess I have told the owner upstairs basically that you all will be coming. Pretty decent gentleman from what I have talked to him. I would have his name if I didn't accidentally close the tab.
Did you at least get us a nice corner booth?
Well, we're going to be meeting in his office. So the fellow's name is Thomas Wilder.
Aria wants waffles.
Well, we can get waffles once we get up there. I'm pretty sure it is a diner, so they're probably still serving.
What time is it?
Let's say about 10.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah,
it's not super busy time. Yeah, it's not a busy time, but it's also,
Perfect waffle time.
yes.
Also, when
Hey,
the gang approaches the rest of the characters, Bobby will go towards Ferrus and say, "Ferrus, my friend, I heard that you got put on this job."
I will look towards him. I will offer my hand for him to shake, and I will tell him that this isn't really what I'm used to. This is very much what I'm very much not used to this sort of thing, this kind of espionage work, and I'll be kind of looking to him to kind of help me through this, because,
Bobby will take their hand and clap them on their shoulder and say, "Don't worry about it. You'll get used to it."
I'll tell him that I figure that they probably don't want me recording this.
There's we will probably not quite. It might just give them. Let's just keep the recording. It's probably a little bit on edge about that stuff.
No, we
Oh
should.
no, it'd be some real good blown covers.
No, exactly. Not only blown covers, this is good promo footage. We could use this for advertising.
I'll say that I don't really want to start an international incident.
Oh, I'm sorry. We are far past that point.
I mean, we haven't caused one yet, or at least our group hasn't caused one yet. This
Bobby will
group
also
together at the same
Yeah.
time has not caused an international incident yet.
Bobby will also extend his hand to Ariel and say, "Don't believe I know you."
Also,
Axe.
Taria.
What?
Aria. Axe is extending his hand to Aria.
Aria reaches her hand out and happily shakes it, giving a smile. And how are you?
"I'm quite fine, thank you."
Why would you touch?
Aria is an extremely pleasant person who enjoys meeting new people.
That's great. But also, Bobby.
I'm sure
All
there's
right.
time to learn all the ins and outs of Bobby.
One thing real quick, Lolo.
Mhm.
Would it be okay to say I have like a bunch of packets about my show that I can hand around?
That would make sense. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna start doing that. It's got like information on the show, TV schedules, that kind of thing. Maybe some pins and stuff people can wear.
Oh, that reminds me. Bobby also slaps a business card into Aria's hand.
Aria kind of looks it over. It's bone white. Look at the lettering.
Damn right.
I'll ask what's wrong with the lettering.
Nothing.
Aria just has a look of awe on their face at this magnificent business card.
This
It's
doesn't
just
even
a
have
business
Hatsune Miku on it.
Doesn't even have Kuzco on it.
I'm doing American Psycho here. Come on, work with me.
And for the record, he gives Tacent a 1-second look, and otherwise doesn't acknowledge them.
I'm sorry, are you here?
All right, let's go ahead and go up. So going into the welcome center, there is like a lobby kind of area that has a lot of like if you go into like the lobby of like a library or something, that basically there's some like kiosk that has like information about the city in it. There's also a elevator that has writing next to it that says to the open door.
I'll follow with everybody else.
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean, Aria's just walking along.
Look, I'm here on business. We're going to that office. Then I can eat.
All right. So you all get into the elevator. You go up the. Let's see. Do I have it listed? How many? Like, let's just say it is 5 stories up.
So is this like a Space Needle situation?
I know it's like a skyscraper. That's a pretty like rectangular building going up.
Okay.
So you're going up, and basically you walk in, and you see it very much is a diner. Essentially, there are booths along the side of the building that are basically all like along the side that is all made of glass, so you can see outside the window into the city. You can, if you look up, you see that there's actually like a few floors of this, so that there is plenty of spaces that you can sit by the window and just take a look at the city. In the center, there is a square, like not bar area, but basically where you can, sit at the counter, where there is kind of some basic food preparation stuff. It's not like the kitchen where they make like the more intricate stuff. There is also on the back panel, there is a actual bar that has it has a bar. There is a bar back there as well. And sitting or standing behind the like in a little center area in the square, looks like there are like a few like let's just say like young college, like around like 20-year-old. You see like 2 20-year-old people just kind of working there. They're not just kind of mind their own business. And you also see behind the bar, you see a man who is, let me get the description. You see a human man that is he is kind of doughy looking a little bit. Like he is slightly tall, but he's not like super tall. He is completely bald. And you see him looking somewhat pensive, just kind of taking a look at something.
I'd like to see if I can get a closer look at what he's looking at without getting caught.
Let's see. You can do that. Let me figure out what that's going to be a roll of. That is just going to be a well, since you're trying to do it without getting caught, that would be since you're just trying to read it, I don't know, that would be, I guess, just perception. And since it's not something like he's not trying to hide it at all, that would probably be a let's just call that a easy check, which is one.
Okay, so that's 1 yellow, 2 greens, and a purple, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
So you succeed. You got 5 successes and a threat. So basically, he just kind of like you do it, but you kind of do it in a way that kind of gets his attention. Like he doesn't notice that you're looking, but he's not noticing that you're looking at it, but he notices that you're there. And he just kind of looks and he's like, "Excuse me, sir, is there something that I can get you?"
I would tell him I was just trying to get close to the window, get a better look.
All right. You don't need to. We don't really sign seats here. You can just go ahead and get a seat if you want.
I'll tell him that'd be great.
All right.
Did I get a look at what he was looking at?
So from what you could, he's basically just looking at. It's basically an audit of like. It's basically just past orders. Like he's just looking at what's been ordered. He wasn't looking like anything like secretive. He was just looking at like what had been ordered. He's basically just looking at like bookkeeping stuff.
My sense of adventure has failed me.
Just gonna walk up to him. Do you run this place?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so first off, how dare you call it a diner? This place is both too big, too nice, and too clean.
Well, I thought that too, but the city was kind of looking for some kind of thing, like it's right out of that transport station. So they wanted something that's like, oh, you just get out and just, get relatively simple food, not kind of get you into local cuisine right off the bat. Just, a good old hamburger or like some pancake and eggs kind of thing.
Okay, well,
Oh,
first
this
off,
hamburger.
if you're going to get a burger, you head down to Bob B's. Second off, I'm just saying, I've been to real diners, and if you're not risking food poisoning every time you go there, you're running it wrong.
I will
Yeah.
agree with him.
Yeah, I suppose, but it is what it is. It's my little, I guess, corner of the universe.
It's a big corner.
Yeah, it is. So, you looking to order, or you just kind of you got something else in mind?
I mean, what do you got? What are your best at? What's your special?
He just kind of looks at us like, oh, right, what time is it already? All right, it's yeah, let's see. Let's just do it's our breakfast kind of our breakfast sampler. Basically got, a little bit of everything.
Aria is already seated and is perusing the menu and immediately finds the waffles and lights up.
Oh, I'll take that. I'll take the special.
I'm just gonna look at him, I'm gonna smile, and I'm gonna tell him to surprise me because I'll eat anything. And I'll kind of give him a look that suggests he should know what I'm talking about.
Just wiggle your eyebrows.
So basically, he just kind of takes a look and sees that there's a group, and he just kind of whistles to like, "Hey, Linda, can you get all these folks here? I guess they're all together. I'm gonna go in my office. I'm waiting for some people."
At this point, like,
This is-
Yuhar's gonna send a telepathic message of, "We are the people."
No,
Okay.
let him work it out.
Look
All
at
right. Okay.
Also, is this guy the owner?
This guy is the owner. Theron is just kind of sitting back and just watching them work, and just kind of like, just like,
Yep.
all right.
Yeah, Bobby did not approach the diner with the others. He's hanging back by the entrance.
Just glad
All
they're
right.
all immediately distracted.
All right. So you want?
Waffles.
Let's see. You want to send a telepathic message. Let me figure out what the rules for that were again.
God forbid you talk.
Let's see.
You
Magic
gotta stay in practice. You don't get to become a strong telepath without practice.
Okay, is that do? You know what? Since you're just sending a message, that technically would just be a utility thing because I think mind is a little bit too hardcore for what you're trying to do.
No, this is just like a basic ass message.
Yeah, this isn't like, I don't think this is a role. This is just me
Yep.
being
Well,
an ass.
So it's an easy check. So you just need to roll an easy check, which is 1 purple. So for in your case, 3 yellows, 2 greens, and a purple.
Jesus, what?
Just don't worry about
Wow.
the cost of that one. Okay, that's 4 that's 4 successes and 4 advantages. You do what you want. So he just kind of just looks up and just like, a ragtag group of people, whatever. All right. He also just kind of looks around and he sees Theron there. He's like, all right, I guess this is not what I was expecting, but I guess this is going to work.
It's our greatest strength, you see. No one expects us. And Yuhar is actually saying this out loud.
All right,
I will say, sorry.
Well, he just kind of continues. He's like, well, I guess that is, if you're trying to look for whatever, I guess they're not going to expect it, although they'll just think you're just a bunch of weirdos. But I guess that's not, they're just a bunch of weirdos in the city, so I guess it's not really a problem. All right, well, I guess, just like, well, I guess if while you're here, I guess you are placing an order. So, you know what? Just go ahead and figure out what there is, and then I'll be in my office.
Can we get it on the house?
He just kind of looks at you and is like, just kind of looks at Theron. Is like, yeah, sure, I'll be on the house.
Also, the reason I was asking this to the owner because this man's technically competition to Bobby.
I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna ask him and I'm gonna tell him, I don't mean to be rude, but is he the only one working here?
Well, you would see no, because he has like 2 assistants there, and there's also other people that are walking around.
I'll just tell him that he seems very busy.
It's like, yeah, we're a restaurant in the center of the city in one of the busiest tourist sections of the city. So yeah, it is kind of busy, even though it's ain't exactly the busiest time. It's still pretty busy.
Is he near the table at all?
No, he's in the kind of center area.
Ah. All right. Well, since I'm waiting for food to arrive, I get up and I walk over and I put my hand out to shake his hand.
He just kind of extends his hand as like, pleasure.
Hi, I'm Aria. It's a pleasure to meet you. How long have you been operating at this establishment?
Well, I guess around probably about I'd say about 7 years, 8 years. I don't know, getting up there. I can't quite remember.
That's a pretty long time. It looks like you've been having quite a success around here. That's really good. You
Yeah.
must be really proud of your services here.
Yes, I have actually.
Real quick, I want to be writing this down, what they're saying, into a notebook.
Okay. Yeah, I did. I think you just write around that notebook.
So what would you say has been your biggest obstacle in running this place?
Well, he just kind of takes a look around. It's like, well, there's a lot of things that I need to do in my time, and just seems like there's a whole bunch of little tiny things that pop up.
Tiny things, you say? I'm curious. Could you be a little more specific?
Yes. For example, people asking me questions when I need to prepare for something to show you in a moment. Don't mean to be rude.
No offense taken. I completely appreciate your candor.
Well, if you excuse
Iravia
me,
snickering at the table.
well, if you excuse me, I gotta go prepare some things. I'll be in my office. I'll meet you in there. And he
All right.
just leaves.
Arya tips their hat and walks back to the table and sits down with a smile on their face.
I will sit down with her and I will mention how weird it is that you didn't recognize me.
Yeah, it's they.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
So with that, so he left. So you're all basically the people behind the desk are taking your order and just kind of, handle like just you get your food. There's no real
Waffles!
I am going to fucking destroy that food.
These waffles are just gone. They're gone. Delicious.
There will be a fucking reckoning.
Nothing survived on my plate.
All right, Bobby, what were you planning on doing? You're just kind of sitting there.
Well, Bobby's just waiting out of sight. Just because. What's this guy's name?
So the name is Tom. It's Thomas Wilder.
Oh, so it's just Tom is in fact running Tom's Diner.
Well, the place is called The Open Door. Tom's Diner is just the name of the episode.
The Open Door is Tom's Diner, you see.
Yes.
Things might not go pleasantly once Tom realizes Bob's here.
Well, I'm sure he has other things to think about. Also, Tacent, was there anything that you wanted to do?
Did he say something about he's going to his office to prepare a presentation for us?
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to sit politely and wait. Evidently, he needs to. I mean, we're here early or something. I don't know. I can't eat anything that's prepared here. I can't eat anything that's fried out of an iron pan.
Okay.
You're missing out on some great grub.
That's what your feelings on porcelain.
I vicariously enjoy it through you. You're very enthusiastic.
Let's see. This is something Bobby's place has over this. He cooks stuff in a variety of instruments.
I'm going to look at
like
Tacent
the saxophone.
and ask them if it's a diet thing. The not eating anything prepared with iron, is that a diet thing?
It's part of a holistic. I don't want to bore you with the details of certain things. It's all right. I'm sure the food smells delicious.
I will tell them that I'd be more interested in hearing later on when they get the chance.
Oh my god.
Thank
But
you.
for now, I'm going to look around all the others and ask if they notice anything weird yet, because Ferrus has not.
Ferrus, I'm gonna if this is a HUD for a bunch of spies trying to do an op, most likely there's about 3, maybe 4 different other agencies all here trying to trying to put a plan here at once. So we're gonna first wait for let's let Tom do his spiel, and then we'll come back around and do our own look around later. We gotta make sure that at least get our first groundswell of information first before we start doing the work.
I will nod.
All right. So is there anything else that you kind of want to do before you finish your meal and kind of head in?
Yeah, I want to take.
Just standing off to the side. I'll do a spot check or whatever that is.
So basically take a kind of look around.
Yeah.
Let's see, that would just be a perception. If you're just doing kind of a casual glance around, that would just be an easy. That would be an easy perception check.
All right.
Nope. So let's see, because your check was 2 greens and a purple. You have rolled 2 failures, but 2 advantages. So you don't see anything particularly out of you don't see anything particularly out of place. You do see that there are a number of people that are, around, but that's about it.
All right.
Rafferty, what did you want to do?
Which one is Bobinator's character?
That is Ferrus.
Ferrus, yes.
That's what I thought, Ferrus. Yeah, I want to take Ferrus's picture when he's not looking and then try to put it into an internet image search, because I have the impression I'm supposed to know who he is, but I have no idea who he is.
That's hurtful, but okay.
All right.
You didn't hear Bobby say their name during the greeting?
Yeah. I guess I could put that in there too, but I don't know how to spell Ferrus.
That is true.
Take your best guess.
Well, I put that in there too, because I'm just start searching the internet. It's like, this guy talks like I'm supposed to know who he is.
Okay. Let's see.
I guess it just comes up with his TV show, right?
Yeah, it would just come up with his TV show. Yeah.
It's a TV thing. Okay. I'll nod sagely to myself.
All right.
Do I need to roll anything, or
no?
Okay.
Roll against getting your picture taken.
Yeah, it's the case where if it doesn't really affect anything.
Do you have vampire syndrome? Can your picture?
Yeah, I don't run TV, so I have no idea.
It is a completely inconsequential role, so it's not action, so it's not.
It's fine. Iravia doesn't know either. Just isn't saying anything because she doesn't care.
Does the internet exist in this world? It's the 70s.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's the 70s, but it's also the technology has advanced to the point where, yes, there is the internet.
The dark
What
web.
is it?
Don't ask me how I know.
What are we visualizing when we think of the internet? Is it like a BBS or?
So think like very early 90s stuff, like BBSs, essentially.
Okay, but there's not like Netscape or anything like that.
No, you're not doing Netscape. You are doing BBSs. You are doing
MIRC.
Gopher.
Yes.
I can do a Gopher search. Yes.
Yes. Do a
It's
Gopher
the only
search.
time somebody's been excited to do a Gopher search. Ever.
Be right back.
All right. So in that case, is there anything else anyone wanted to do?
No, we already took a look around and nothing really suspicious. I got my food. So I'm ready for this presentation.
Out of curiosity, is the food good?
It's let's just say it is better than average.
Good enough for me.
It's not like some
better than average waffle.
It's not like a 4-star experience, but it's like it's good. It's good.
A diner. It's diner food.
Yeah.
You want that 4-star experience, you go to Bobby's.
Yes. All right. Well, we are going to go ahead and so eventually you did see Tom go back into some of the offices, kind of like in the back area, and you see him come out and basically he just kind of comes to basically your table and just kind of basically says, "It's like, all right, I'm ready for you all. How was the food?"
Aria
come on.
smiles and says it was fantastic.
Yeah, I'll say I enjoyed it very much.
Also, Torpid walked away for a short bit.
Yep. Um,
It was fine.
give me 1 second. Yeah. So, let's see. Let me see if I can do this. There you go. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, that seems about right. Well, I guess we can pretend that Iravia is still eating and is currently indisposed. So I just kind of turn to Tom and say, "Well, while we're waiting, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about your establishment or your time here?"
Well, basically, I decided I had enough with the U.S. about 15 years ago. Left. Basically, worked at various restaurants and basically ended up, with this place.
Do you have a favorite dish that you serve here? One that you particularly enjoy either eating or making?
I'm just a kind of a simple steak and eggs person.
Steak and eggs. It's a pretty good dish. Says a lot about a man who likes this good steak and eggs.
Yeah, just just not really I don't really like to embellish my food, just like personally. I just kind of like a good, hearty, simple meal.
I'd
How do
like to
you-
ask him. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'd like to ask how he stays competitive in a big city like this, in such a tourist-heavy region.
It's better than the
Well-
question I was going to ask.
Well, basically, I guess it's just, location. I guess I'm right in the center of the city, right in the center of the area, so can't really argue with the view either. So I guess there's that.
Still where I
So-
stand, by the way. I'm going to
On
quit
that-
saying that, but just assume.
Yeah. Upon that question, Bobby will grab a chair, head over to the table, loudly plunk it down, and looking straight at Tom with a shit-eating grin on his face and say, "Hey, Tom."
He just kind of looks at you for a moment and is like, wait, what is hello there?
How's it
Yeah,
going, buddy?
Don't give him attention; it fuels him.
It's going good.
So you tidied the place up a bit better than it was the last time I was here.
Yeah, we've done decent cleaning. He just kind of looks more confused as he doesn't quite remember who you are.
If you
Oh.
stop talking to him, he'll just go away.
Oh, Bobby will never go away.
He just kind of, upon hearing this, like, oh, right, I've heard about you. Yeah, you got that burger joint over the kind of the corner around over here.
Yes, some good burgers.
Yeah. Just after a while, he just kind of looks at you and is like, all right, well, I'm ready in my office, so I can kind of explain what I have seen in the air. So basically, I can show you what you're here for.
I will get up and move to the office. That's the job.
Arya gets up and follows suit.
Yep, same here. Just head
I mean,
over
if
to the
all the
office.
food's gone, then yes.
Yeah, I'm going with him.
All right. So I guess with everyone going into the office, basically you see that around his desk that you see that there is a box, like a small box, and inside the box there are some small electronic devices. And he just kind of sits down behind the desk, and it's probably a little cramped, so you're all probably standing around. Tom just kind of goes, sorry, I didn't realize there would be everyone here. So yeah, let me kind of he makes sure that the door is closed, and is like, yeah, so I am getting bugged in here, and I don't know why.
I'm
They're
gonna-
trying to figure out the secrets to your meals.
The secret is salt. That's it. That secret's already out in the public.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they're not looking for any food recipes. They're after something in particular.
I'd like to. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. You were trying to say something before it. Go ahead.
I'd like to ask him. He said he was doing something else before he worked here 15 years ago. What was he doing before then?
Well, that's rather interesting. I was an actor.
What
I
did
see you
do?
weren't very successful.
Well, it's kind of hard when you get blacklisted by your government.
Wait, what?
You're one of those.
Yes. Yes. Thomas Wilder, former actor, now restaurateur, because of just lovely Red Scare thing.
Hey, Lolo.
Yep.
I'd like to roll Knowledge Society if you'd allow and see how much I know about this guy.
Sure. If anyone wants to also roll, they can. So roll Knowledge Society.
Would it be society or history?
This I feel would be more society.
Okay. Okay, 2 yellows. What's the difficulty?
So difficulty, if anyone else wants to roll, roll, since it's also, I'm going to say a hard check.
How many purples is that?
That is 3.
Okay.
Okay, so Bobinator, Carnival, and Deathmaster rolled for that. Bob, you've had just 2 advantages, so you don't recognize the person, although, so basically you don't, the name doesn't ring any bells and there isn't any history. Though you think you might have heard him in, like, you might have heard him as, like, the side of something, like, as part of a story, but not his particular story. Carnival, you rolled a success and 3 threat. So basically you, it takes you a while to remember it, but yes, you do remember who he is. You remember hearing about, it takes you a while to kind of remember what this is. Also, it kind of racks your brain a little bit. So you take a strain for it. But you remember that he was a member of the Communist Party of the USA. And basically Deathmaster, that's also rolled a success and a threat, so, or a advantage. So you basically also remember that basically he was a former member of the Communist Party of the of like, I think it was just the Communist Party of the United States.
Yeah,
and then
Communist Party.
And then so basically he got rounded up with the the McCarthy hearings and basically got blacklisted and left the country because of it.
Comrade! Yuhar yells at a good, nice and loud. Good to see you.
No, this isn't. Bobby knows this because, again, this man's competition.
Okay, Yuhar, I thought you said your sister-in-law was CIA.
Look,
Yes.
families can be complicated.
Remember, I also said we found her, me and my sister first met her shooting her.
Ah. Well, look forward to meeting her. Because if you wish hard enough for something to not happen, it will.
Wait, I forget. Are we actually in the United States or are we in something else?
No, we are in a separate country. We are on the, we're near the border, though.
Right, so
Yeah.
the CIA shouldn't even be here.
That's right.
Well, they
It's
shouldn't,
almost
but
as if the CIA operates on their own rules.
Not on our rules.
Since when is fucking that stopped anyone from espionage?
Well, it just means they shouldn't be in here and bugging. So you expatriated from the United States because of the Red Scare then?
Yes.
But now someone's bugging your office. Do you have any of the surveillance devices still?
Yeah, I got him in this little box.
I think we have one resident technomancer, right?
yeah, but they're not. Bobby
not-
just shakes his head and says, "Well, they're not here today."
Oh, well, that's a bummer.
And I'm going to ask him if he's not still a member of the Communist Party, right?
Well,
he hadn't been involved with anybody who knows of them?
well, I haven't really been involved with much here because it's a little bit more complicated here.
Also, look at this. You're clearly a capitalist.
Well,
Whatever that
I'm
means.
well, he's working for the restaurant that's in the government's building. they just put that there just to have a restaurant or like a rest stop. So they technically own it as well. But yeah, so yeah, essentially, yeah, I've been finding weird devices lately, and also I've been seeing people who I kind of been hanging around a little bit longer than you'd kind of expect.
So you want us to rough them up, is what you're saying?
Not asking you to rough them up.
I'm roughing.
just-
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Do
Okay,
you,
I believe
do,
you.
do you recognize them as recurring customers?
Yes, I have plenty. I have a handful of recurring customers that I am very curious as to why they're here. So
Bobby wonders that too. Says, shaking his head, looking around the restaurant.
he just kind of looks and just kind of ignores the comment. But it's like, yeah, I know that people have like, local hangouts, but they've got a handful of people who've just been kind of sitting here, just a little longer than you'd kind of expect. And, kind of almost at an exact timing.
Some people are busy and got schedules.
Yeah, perhaps they're on schedule, and perhaps they enjoy the facilities a lot more than you might expect.
Because they're
Some
weirdos.
people don't care where their food comes from. You know?
Well, that's true, but sometimes you just kind of get a feeling.
So, comrade, do you have either some photos or the assumed names that they're working under?
Well, I do know I've gotten a handful. I do have a bartender here who has been they've been talking to them sometimes when they go up to the bar. So I've gotten a little bit of information on some of them.
That would be thankful to have.
Yeah, I don't exactly have pictures because that kind of spook them if that kind of just walk up and just take a picture of them. So yeah, I
But
just
not
kind of
for your employee of the month or whatever.
well, they're not my employees, so
Oh, the
they're-
weirdos are right. Sorry,
yes,
do not take checks from.
yes. So he kind of goes into his drawer and kind of pulls out a notebook of just kind of like, all right, I guess, do you want me just to kind of go over who I've kind of noticed?
What floor are we on again? We're pretty high rise, right?
You're pretty high, yes.
Okay. I mean, if some people were planting surveillance devices in your office, that's almost always people who have access to your office, like the cleaning staff.
Well, also, it's not just in the office. So he has the bugs like in a box in his office, but he's disabled them and like basically he's found it and just kind of ripped it off from where it was.
So where were you finding them?
I was finding them under tables, just kind of in just kind of discrete locations.
If they're bugging the restaurant, it might not be that they're looking for you. It might be that they're looking for some of your clientele, which is why it would be useful to know who's coming.
Yeah, that's also what I'm thinking. I don't know why anyone would be looking into my things. It's been over a decade before I've really done anything that even they
No,
might
they might
even
not be looking for you. They might be looking for someone who comes in here.
right. That's what I'm saying. Is that I'm thinking that they might be looking for someone else because I don't know why they would be looking for me.
So we're in the tourist district. Are there any government buildings around here?
Let's see. There is outside of the transport station. There is a clinic. There is a bank, essentially, and a library.
What can you see from here, though?
Okay, so from the building, I'll just kind of give a explanation for the building. So if we're basically going to start north, going clockwise around the building. So due north of the building is a very large building that is basically like it's a pretty like wide building. Well, not wide. It's kind of hard to describe, but it's a very rectangular shape that's about 4 or 5 stories tall. It is, but it looks like it holds a lot. That the building there is the Thousand Voices Club, which that is a club that there is like a club that has like it's like a lounge essentially. But also in that there are several like performance areas, so that spoken word stuff like plays and all that can be. There's multiple auditoriums that can take place in, like almost like a movie theater kind of thing, but it's for like spoken word stuff. And then to the direct east, and it's a pretty large building, you have the Flowering Blossom Plaza, which is essentially a 3-story mall that has various restaurants in it, and also kind of trinkets, and also some shops, essentially. That are, a lot of it is like local stuff. Like it's not like eclairs are in it. It's almost all entirely local stuff. Directly south of the restaurant is the rather large transport center number 1, which, as you mentioned, is a large building that has basically anything transport-wise you would need in the city. It is a exit point for in parking spot for if you were using a like car or something. There is subway access. There is SkyTrain access. So there is that.
So if I can ask a question, if I'm understanding this correctly, this diner is in the middle of the tourist district, which is easily reachable by public transportation at all hours of the day.
That is correct.
So if you were coming from somewhere else to have a clandestine meeting with someone else to plot something, it would be really easy to just take public transportation, come to this place, meet with someone else in a highly trafficked tourist area, have your meeting, and then leave.
That is correct.
Yeah. We need to get these bugs identified. I mean, that's all I can think of. We need to find someone who can tell us what these are and where these come from.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is there any particular side that you usually find these on, or any particular spots?
Well, that's the thing, is I found them kind of planted all over the place.
These guys are really sloppy. So they might be trying to get something in here then.
They could, but they could also be, so just my personal guess, is I would probably think of, I've heard rumors about, if you kind of take a look from the southwest of the building, you would see there's that huge Cineplex there, that big old, the theater next to it. The theater that basically, pretty clean from what I can tell. Right next to it, though, is the Dancing Queen.
Bobby just makes a disgusted face at the mention of the Dancing Queen.
Yeah, there is a club, the Dancing Queen. I take it that if you've not heard of it, is a discotheque it was a club that's been there for a while, but it's been recently repurposed to a discotheque.
Bobby shakes his head in utter disgust.
Aria
It's a big crack from his cigar.
Aria asks, is there a particular table or tables that they tend to sit at?
Well, when we get to it, I'll kind of explain a little bit. But some of them do seem to have particular tables, although they do kind of bounce around a bit. But, once I've started to kind of keep an eye, I do kind of notice a trend. There is also the park that is surrounding this entire district.
Aria's face lights up at the mention of the park.
The Welcome Square Park, which basically, just like there's a bunch of statues, history stuff, like, that's basically statues, about various history of this area.
Aria mutters under their breath, "Gonna have to check that out. It could be important."
Do you have any names at least, or aliases, or whatever?
Yeah, I got a few. Do you want me just to kind of go through what I got here?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you for listening to Hazeltown Story. If you'd like to get updates on this show and many other shows hosted by me, LoloDePuzlo, you can follow at Hazeltown Story on Twitter. And if you would like to get to know me more from a personal standpoint, you can follow my personal Twitter at LoloDePuzlo. If you would like to watch this be recorded live, you can go to twitch.tv/LoloDePuzlo and follow the channel for notifications of when this show as well as other shows like Retro Rank Rhapsody, are being recorded. If you would like to add this podcast to your podcatcher of choice, you can search for WLDP Hazeltown Radio and find us on most major podcatching search engines. Or you can manually add rss.hazeltown.life to your podcatcher. Thank you for listening, and I hope you come around for the next episode.